Hi everybody, this is Kim Ruiz King again with Fambuli Insurance Services. I'm so excited for you guys today because this is our next episode of Insurance and Insights, and we're actually going to talk about estate planning with one of my dearest friends, Cheryl Richardson from Cardinal Law. So I would love for you to tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Oh, thank you, Kim. I'm so happy to be here. Hello, everybody. My name is Cheryl Richardson. I'm an attorney, and I'm also the owner of Cardinal Law, where we focus on estate planning, and that's all we do. We want to make sure that our clients have their wishes carried out, and so we spend a lot of time getting to know them and making sure we understand their family dynamics and all those kinds of things so that we can put together the best plan for them that meets their needs.
Awesome. So can you tell us real quick before we go to the questions, because a lot of people from doing what I do and talking to people, they don't really know what estate planning is. So can you elaborate just a little bit on what you do and what that means?
Absolutely. So estate planning is more than just the notion of like who gets your stuff when you die. And a lot of people think that probably from the movies and TV and all those kinds of things, but it's really a little more complicated than that. So a typical estate plan consists of like 4 parts. So basically there can be a trust. So that is basically a private contract with your family members or your loved ones or some charities or whoever you'd like to give your assets to in whatever way that is. There's also a will, and that's what we know from TV, right? Also a durable power of attorney. So that is the document that where you identify who you want to step into your shoes if you can't make financial decisions for yourself. And then there is a set of medical directives that rounds out the estate plan. And there are 3 parts to that. One is a healthcare power of attorney. So that's the person who steps into your shoes and makes medical decisions for you if you cannot. There's also a living will. So some people call that the pull the plug document. It's basically your end of life wishes. And then finally, your HIPAA authorization. So who can have access to your medical records.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you for that explanation.
Absolutely.
So then, of course, the first question is, I know when you're meeting with clients, you usually run into the same types of questions or thoughts on, oh my gosh, if only I would have known this sooner. What would that be for you in your line of work?
So oftentimes people are overwhelmed by the notion because unlike many other things that people do in their lives, they really have very little experience or background knowledge when it comes to estate planning. So I think there's this large fear of the unknown. Like most of the things that people know about estate planning, they've seen on TV or they've seen in movies, those kinds of things. And I think there's also a misperception that you need to be old to do an estate plan or you need to be super rich. And none of those things are true. So most of my clients, I shouldn't say most, but many of my clients come to me because they've had an experience where either their parents died without an estate plan, which is a hot mess, right? A hot mess.
Yeah.
And a easy way and a quick way to ruin all of your family holidays forever, which is a very sad situation.
Yeah.
Or they've had some sort of reality check, if you will, like, you know, people in their 40s or 50s who had a friend pass away at a very young age, something happened in their life where they thought, oh my gosh, this could happen to me too.
And so is which they would have known the fact that it's not as bad as they think.
Exactly. We hold your hand and make it as painless as possible. Yeah.
I love that. Thanks for clarifying that and talking through it. I think it's really important for sure.
Absolutely.
And then of course, finally, last part of the questioning for today is, you know, for everybody that's listening, is there just one piece of advice? I know you have lots of advice, but if you had to pick one thing that's just burning inside of you that you have to share with our viewers, what would that be?
That is, go ahead and get started on the process, because it really, once you're finished with the process and you've got all these documents in place, you will have peace of mind like you haven't experienced before. You know, for the same reasons that you buy life insurance, that you buy car insurance, you know, all you're planning ahead for like a worst case scenario. Right, so estate planning is sort of similar in that nature. You're making all of these decisions, these vitally important decisions, while you can take your time and be thoughtful about it and all of those things, preparing for the inevitable. Right?
Because we're going to need it at some point.
You're going to need it at some point. Absolutely.
So might as well do it now.
And so make all those decisions. That way you can have peace of mind knowing that you have a plan for any situation that could arise in the future, and you won't share that burden with your kids or any of your family members or other loved ones. You've made all the decisions. All they need to do is carry out your plan.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you being here with us and sharing your knowledge. And you guys have questions, I'm happy to hook you up with Cheryl and her team. You guys are phenomenal and they care so much. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you everyone for listening. I appreciate your time.
Awesome. See you guys soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.